Hi guys, today we'll be analyzing Bitcoin against US dollar and I will try to share with you my insights and my vision about the medium term trend for Bitcoin. Okay, as we can see here, we have an ascending triangle made by linking the lows and the highs made over the last 3 years. And as well, we see the EMA bands derived based on the historical volatility of the Bitcoin. The chart actually doesn't tell us so much. That's why I will switch to another chart. But before doing so, I would like to share with you what I see from this chart. Okay, actually here we've seen a long black candle with an increase in volumes. What happens normally is when you see an increase in volumes, you always, or well, not always, but very often you see a counter trend movement. So this movement that we see here is absolutely normal. Actually, I don't. I will tell you immediately. My vision for Bitcoin. I will arrive directly to the point. Okay, Bitcoin against the US dollar is not going to hit new highs. Okay, over the medium term. Something different can be if we analyze the Bitcoin and we try to predict the movement over the next 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, see, this is something much more difficult. And then we should talk something about fundamental analysis, which is even more difficult for the Bitcoin since Bitcoin is not a company. Okay, so we don't have those ratio like price against earnings or price against revenues or price against cash flows that we have and that we can retrieve for the companies. So in this chart actually tells us something. Okay, every time we see a movement, okay, with some candle hitting the lower or the upper bands, MA bands, we should see a counter trend movement. Okay, something which did not happen here because we have seen here a huge increase in volumes. But here, as we know, we have seen a parabolic movement. The chart became vertical, and as I've been stating in 2017 and as I've been suggesting my friends, I was telling them, okay, now is the right time to sell. Okay, this was the right time to sell. I perfectly hit the high at 20,000 US dollar. Maybe it was just a matter of luckiness or just because I'm experienced, but again, I was able to suggest my friends to sell during this movement at the highs. Here, what we see here, actually, Bitcoin came to almost 10,000 US dollar. I can tell you that Bitcoin could also go farther, so could overcome the 10,000, the 10K threshold, yet I expect the Bitcoin going down from that area. And now I will tell you why, and that's why we'll be switching to another chart where we can see my two property indicators. So here we are on prorealtime.com, and as we can see here, we have one horizontal resistance made by the high in December 17 at 20,000 US dollar. Okay, even here we see the ascending triangle with the actually fake breakout where we've seen the increase in volumes, and now again a long white candle testing the descending the descending oblique resistance. Now here beneath the naked price we see two my indicators. Okay, the money indicator, maybe you already know, is a derivation from the Harsh bands. Is um, I've been working a lot with my father in order to retrieve some sort of indicator which somehow can be more powerful than Harsh bands in itself. And in the last section we see another indicator which is derived by my studies. Okay, I and my father have been developing these over 2 years in 2016. So what we have seen here, if we actually, this indicator seems to predict quite greatly, okay, the future movement. So in November 2015, 9 November 2015, this indicator went long, okay, around 300 or yeah, less than 300 US dollar, 200 US dollar to be correct, and then it came out, went out from the position at 13. Actually here around 12,000 US dollar, okay, with a huge profit. From 12,000 US dollar, we've seen a movement downwards. Now, what the indicator is predicting, is telling us, is actually um, movement for the medium term, okay, should be still negative. So I don't expect to see the Bitcoin overcoming the 11,000 US dollar. Actually, now if we analyze, and I will zoom in a little bit in order to be more concrete and in order to give you a better visualization of my indicator, what do we see here? Actually, the price went below, okay, the lower band, and in this case, this is a counter trend indicator. Okay, so once the price breaks below the lower band, we should be buying. And actually, the signal was around 4,700 euro. Sorry, US dollar. Now, what I expect here? The price could bounce back to 10,000, but here we have the upper threshold. So every movement above, okay, the threshold is for me a sell which is confirmed from okay, this indicator again, because this indicator is actually created by 4 different other indicators, okay, smoothed and weighted with different weights. So it's a long process. It has been a long process in order to create this indicator. But again, this indicator gives us a medium term, okay, forecast. What actually this have been, once we analyze the naked price, we see a fake breakout below the support around 6,000 US dollar, and again here was a perfect call, okay, for a buy from this indicator. And again, once the prices cross above the below bands, we have a buy signal. Again, the maximum area where I see the movement could be 12,600, okay, where we see the relative high, which has been hit in June 19, okay, so almost 1 year ago. So in order to arrive to a conclusion, I can tell you guys, I don't predict a huge movement up for the Bitcoin for the next months. Definitely we might see a movement up, okay, to the relative high, but which means actually we will have a break up above the ascending triangle. But, and this is something that nobody's telling you, I see this breakup above the ascending oblique resistance as a fake breakout. In other words, while we still have chance to see the Bitcoin going up till 10,000, 11, or maximum 12,500, okay, US dollar, I see there the sellers coming in place again. Also, since there is a direct proportionality with the stock market, okay, or a sort of, not at 100% point, and not at 100%, and since the stock market is getting a very is going to be very in trouble for the next month, or at least that's my idea. If we see again a movement up, then it will be a great opportunity to short Bitcoin. Also to be mentioned, I see here a bullish divergence. Okay, so in other words, while we've seen a low for my indicator in March 2019, we don't see a low so far. Okay, for here in this area of the of my property indicator. Yet it's not over yet. Okay, so we don't see actually a buy signal still in sell. Okay, in order to understand if we have a bullish divergence, we should see the green indicator coming up the red curve, okay, the red indicator, so the red oscillator, which is something we don't see, so we could see still a movement downwards. So in conclusion, Bitcoin could hit 10,000, 11,000, maximum 12,000, but from there I see a strong movement downwards. Also, as you can see here, the derivatives of the two bands are neutral. Okay, so we don't see an ascending phase like in this case, okay, or a descending slope like in this case, but we see a neutral area, a neutral movement here. So I'm really neutral. I will not take position right now. I will not buy. I will not sell. I would wait, since the scenario is more negative than positive. Again, my indicator is still negative, so the chances to see the price going downwards is higher than the chance to see the price going up, and every movement up till this area is a sell for me. Thank you, guys.